Hi everybody, this is Jane Rushton Live, and I'd like to introduce you to Muriel Braun, CEO of Astrolife, and she is here full of inspiration and knowledge about astrology, and I love following her because she gives you really good tips and tricks of what's really happening out there in the universe and how the energies can affect us in day-to-day relationships, business, basically our whole life. So I'm going to pass you over and I'm going to ask Muriel, first of all, what got you started in astrology?
Yes, hi. Thank you, Jane, for having me today. Yes, so astrology actually started very, very young. At 5 years old, I was already fascinated by the stars. And my parents didn't really know what to do with me because it was not as well known as it is now. But they were open-minded enough to let me have books and give me atlases and buy me a telescope to study the stars and to do all that. So that was really, really nice. And they just let me do my little path. And so if you believe in karmic life, I'm sure I came back with it, because I already knew how to calculate, and I mix and match different supports, different astrologies and numerology. And the other day when I moved houses, I could find this little cardboard things where we used to put the phone numbers and things like that, where I was already studying my parents and I hardly knew how to write, so and I was already putting different elements onto my little cards already. So so that was quite interesting. Yes, it was interesting to find.
It's amazing too that your parents were so open-minded that they went, wow, we'll just let her do. They would probably thought you're just going into your fairyland and doing all these things and realizing some of this is making sense. So tell me how you help people.
Yes, so well, exactly right. I was really lucky that my parents did let me, and exactly right. I was starting to study everyone around and helping them even, and analyzing, and they did see that it was working, because in those days, I was even raised into a village where, it was not very accepted, even in the Christian world, and which is another subject. But that's how we did find Jesus, following the stars. The wise men did follow the stars to find Jesus. So I help people by knowing when is a good time. So astrology, even though it can sound quite voodoo and quite spiritual, which I still am, obviously, I believe in multiple lives and karma. But the thing is that astrology in this frequency onto this planet is actually very metaphysics. It's a science. So we understand that just the moon does the tides and move thousands of liters of water. We are made of 73% of water. So we are affected. You can see it on the full moon. The hospitals are full. The police stations, they have so much work to do because the full moon is made to actually blow up, which we will have actually on the 5th and 6th of this week. At the end of this week, we'll have a lunar eclipse full moon. So there will be some cleanup. It's made for that. It's actually made to make sure we don't take with us into the next new moon things that no longer serves us. So it actually cleans up. So so that's how astrology works, and it works to the day. So I've been doing it now for many, many years, obviously, and I help people to know what is their purpose, what is their timing, what is their elements of luck, and to multiply everything into their lives, from relationship to career to I look after people's health. Anything that they need to know when the timing is good, I will be able to help in that sense.
So you also help when people want to renovate a house or buy a house. You let us know the best time to do that so that things just go smoother. And it's not that we can't do it, am I right? But it's better to do it when the stars or retrograde, it's not in retrograde. Things like that.
Yes. And you can make a lot of money. I mean, I still do. I still buy and sell properties at the right time and make money like that. I helped my parents to quadruple their patrimony between 94 and 99 to really multiply. They ended up with 15 properties, which is a lot. So you can really make a lot of money by knowing what to do, when to do. And obviously I help now, a lot of businessmen, a lot of people to also do the same. And timing is very important. Everything's got an energy. So even a house got an energy, even a car's got an energy. Everything has been born under a certain energy. And that is something we're really starting to understand now those days, that, we feel the energies. We feel if we feel, good with someone or in a place or not. We are very sensitive to that, in fact. And yes, those timings are crucial to be able to multiply things and be done at the right time for the right person, because everyone is different again. So it's important to study each and every one and tell them when to do things.
That's amazing. And the latest thing I saw that you're doing is some business courses for people
That
online.
is correct.
Tell me a bit about
That is correct. Yes, that was inevitable, because people started to have a look and they started to see my life, as a single mom, traveling the world, doing all that, and the business, dabbling. And even in those times, even though we've gone through the coronavirus, my accountant said, well, sorry, I've got some good news and bad news. He said, I'm going to tell you the good news first. And I said, yeah. He said, well, your business has doubled. And the bad news is that you won't have any help, from the government or anything like that, which obviously it's normal that you don't. Even though I still refunded the retreats which were cancelled, it's been very prosperous. So a lot of people were looking at me and also what I've done, or the work that I've done just with my readings, helping other people. And at one stage, people said, well, can you mentor us? Can you actually do everything with us and for us? And because in my readings, I would see, for example, that someone was teaching, but their purpose was not to be teaching, would have been maybe to be, going global or doing some kind of work. But there is a difference between saying it in a reading and actually helping someone to do it for real, doing those steps where you can leave that job with your mortgage and stuff like that and be able to go global and be very successful. So people started to ask me, can you teach us to do that? So I've been starting to do that since last year. Obviously, I did that as well, knowing what was coming up, because I did predict what was happening this year, last September. So I thought it was the perfect timing to start mentoring people to make sure that those people will still be prosperous, even though we will have problems and lockdowns and all these kind of things with the disease and, the world changing, to the core, the way we used to know it with the institutions and all that, and it will be shifting. So it was the perfect timing, and I'm having fun.
That's fantastic. And I'm sure the people that are doing your course are having a lot of fun as well. And they know when to do things. So they're not. I find that when I follow you, Muriel, with the tips and tricks that you have along the way based on the stars and the planets, I should say, it's really helps clarity. So you're not pushing forward for something when it's not happening or it's difficult. It's like, wait, this is happening for a reason. And if you're not following you won't know, but you just got to believe it, because it will it will have something to do with the stars and the planets and everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you see people and being so, so good and having great ideas, but just not being successful because they started at the wrong timing, because they did it, when there were those retrogrades, as you were saying, and there's no chances for them to be successful because they're just swimming against the tide instead of surfing and using the strength of the universe. So it makes a big, big difference. And they end up exhausted, giving up to their dreams, when in fact they could have been extremely successful, but that, doing it at the right time and with the right elements of the right things for them is extremely important. And that is the big difference that I see. And yes, my clients are thriving. I can already see some, making 40,000 a month and this and that. So you can really, or having, 2,000 reach with their lives and stuff like that. So it goes very, very fast as soon as they do things at the right time.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And how can people find you to get these tips?
Yes, sure. So they can go on Facebook. We're actually redoing all my websites. So for the moment, it's not launched yet. But for the moment, they can find me on Facebook under Muriel Braun, or in my group, Astrolife, Be in Sync with the Universe, because I am actually, yes, I've reached the 5,000. So they won't be able to be accepted into Muriel Braun. So they can go onto my page, Muriel Braun Astrolife, or otherwise they can go into my group, Astrolife, Be in Sync with the Universe, and in that case I will accept them into the group, and then we can start connecting, or they can connect with me onto Messenger, no problems there as well.
So Astrolife, Being Sync with the Universe, that's where you are putting tips on every day or twice a week about how and when we should be doing things to use the planets to our advantage.
That is correct. Yes, I give now, especially with those times, I give the weekly updates every Sunday night at 6 p.m. and every morning at 9:30 a.m. Because of what we've gone through, I actually give the stars for free. All that is for free. And yes, just that will actually really help people knowing when is a good timing or not, and just making sure we can rebuild that economy and that we can go back up because there has been obviously some damages done with all those lockdowns. So I'm trying to help as much as I can, absolutely.
Well, that's amazing, and I'd like to thank you very much for all the tips you've given me over the time, and I've had a reading with you, which is fantastic, and all your work. It's absolutely amazing, and it's great for people that are seeing this and who aren't into astrological or planets and think it's a bit woohooey. It's worth just having a look on your Facebook page and listen and see, try it sometime, and or see that things are difficult, things are going a bit wrong, they're harder, and then relate to what Muriel's saying and just try for yourself, because sometimes that's what you have to do. You need to see the proof in the pudding. But it does happen, and it does help, and I'm just very, very grateful for you being around.
Thank you.
And Muriel's
Thank you so much.
That's right. Muriel's based on the Gold Coast, but everything is online as well now. And so Jane Rushton Live, if you want to hear more YouTubes, that I'm going to be putting this up on YouTube, just pop onto my Facebook or also my website, janerushtonlive.com. So thank you very much, Muriel, and we look forward to your new website coming too, and all your updates on Facebook. Okay, bye for now.
Thank you so much, Jane. Bye. Have a great day. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay.